This is David Smoak's Statewide Texas High School Football Podcast on 365 Sports and powered by Smoaky.com and sponsored by Peter Chevrolet in Longview, an innovative third-generation family dealership dedicated to ethics, integrity, and the community, while creating friendly, intelligent, and transparent environment to assist with any automotive need, large or small.
McNair in the gun with under 2 minutes left, down 44-0, trying to get a score. English right side, and he will score. Touchdown, the senior, Raul English from 2 yards out.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. We are an insurance provider built by Texans for Texans. We've been protecting families in our great state since 1952. Sturdy Steel. We build more than grandstands and press boxes. We build the spaces where communities come together. Based in Texas and serving communities nationwide. Batteries Plus. We have the person who can fix what you need with expert knowledge on batteries and have you on your way and good to go in no time. Batteries Plus, the experts in charge. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, with locations throughout the Southwest, serving up tasty food since 1989, including off I-35 in Waco. Next in line, Marco's Pizza, the fastest growing pizza brand in America. Marco's Pizza, Marcos.com. Pizza lovers get it with 5 locations in the Waco area. Bird Culchin Ford on the Loop and Highway 6 in Waco. And Waco's trusted Ford dealer since 1936. And customers know they can expect us to be fair, honest, affordable, and always committed to the tradition of quality service.
Here we are. It is the third week of the Texas high school football playoff season. Third week. That means after this week, 3 weeks left, of course, right up until the week before Christmas, state championship games will be decided at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. So we're going to look at the best wins from last week. We'll look ahead to the best games for this week. We will feature DeSoto football. I saw them firsthand, as did Longview last week at Waco ISD, as Claude Mathis and the Eagles rolled past the Lobos to avenge a loss from a year ago, and a few other nuggets involving high school football. As I have a list, I put out a list on my website, Smoaky.com, and usually there's 25 to 32 or 3 games that we ask you to pick, and the winner gets a free gift certificate to Bubba's 33, either in the Tyler, Longview, East Texas market or in West Waco, up and down I-35. Here are some of the games. First of all, I knew Allen would beat Lake Highlands. Lake Highlands is a tough out, but they rolled in that game, 41-7. Klein Collins with a win against the Woodlands, and they now match up. In fact, they've got a good matchup. We'll get to that at the end of the show. Waxahachie 37 and North Forney 20. We have featured Waxahachie. I've seen them up close and personal. And North Forney may put up a lot of points, but Waxahachie's defense holds them to just 20. Dickinson beat Pearland 28-21. Forney 48, Harker Heights 44. Mark Humble and what that team does down in the Colleen area really has a great program. They won the district title, I think, for the third year in a row, third or fourth. And but not enough to beat Forney 48-44. How about this one? Summer Creek. Yes, we featured them with Kenny Harrison. Manville is good. 72-35. Summer Creek continues to roll in that one. Weiss from Pflugerville hammered Lufkin 52-14. Midlothian Heritage and Texas High. If you would have asked me, which you didn't, or if I would have asked myself, which I did, if you would have said, hey, pick the score in the game between Heritage and Texas High, I would have said 40-36. I would have probably taken Texas High. Heritage wins that game 42-38. In fact, I had Toby Foreman, the head coach at Shoemaker, and I had a good talk when I was on my way to Dallas this past weekend, and he mentioned he was a little surprised by that, but a nice win for Heritage. Alvarado and Sulphur Springs. Alvarado continues to roll 51-43. They win. Athens, one of the best stories of the year, beat Crum 48-42. The deepest they have been, I think, in almost 20 years was Zach Harrell as the head coach. West Orange Stark ends Robinson's year 35-21. How about Whitney beats Winsboro 45-38? And David Haynes continues to have a good run with what they do. His son Kobe is the star quarterback for that team. How about Pottsboro beating Malakoff? That's not a surprise. 49-21. What a nice win for Pottsboro. Commerce has been one of the great stories this year. 54-47 beat Pilot Point. Grandview 55 and Gladewater 42. And then Fairfield with John Bechtel always has a good football team. They had a chance to go pretty deep with Cole Collins and Finn Smith and company, but Yoakum 36-29, what they call the Magic, a young freshman phenom running back who had a really, really big game. ARP beat Dangerfield. This is a surprise. West Schminke has a good team, but they went for two. Josh Smith, their running back, scored, and they beat Dangerfield 29-28. Let's see here. Elysian Fields 55 and Garrison 54 overtime. Nunu Kennedy had over 400 yards of total offense in that win for Elysian Fields and scored 6 touchdowns, 4 rushing. He also threw for a couple. And yes, we will get to Mount Enterprise and our young man, Kagan Ash, and what he did over the weekend as they beat Chilton 58-32. There's going to be a collision course coming up, and it might even be this week as Mount Enterprise in Division II, Class 2A. Mart, it has been a rough year for Chris Lancaster the first year at Mart. They're 7-5 now, though, as they've started to get their thing going. They beat Lovelady 45-32. I believe, if I remember correctly, they had a couple of running backs who both went over 200 yards in that game. And Aquila beat Milford 63-59. Now, one other game that I did not mention, Arlington Heights beat Lubbock Monterey 56-41. Here's the excitement, of course, the first time that they've been to the area round or won in the area round since 1973, 52 years ago. That's a long time ago. In 1973, I was living in Japan. And I was I was probably still at Chofu High School before we moved to Yokota High School. 1973 is also when Earl Campbell and Robert, we got to blip that one out, Garrett. 1973 is also when Earl Campbell and John Tyler High School, Ronnie Lee and others won the state championship as he became the legend in high school football and, of course, in college at Texas in the NFL with the Oilers and one of the great people of all time. I get a chance to look at a lot of great running backs. We're about to feature some of the names, but Lathan Wissington, this young man, I saw him when he was a freshman. His debut, I believe, might have been up when they played at Rockwall Heath. He had a 500-yard freshman year, had over 1,000 yards last year. This young man is special. He is not only a great running back, a great talent, he is also an amazing teammate. You never see him do, look at me. We showed a couple of highlights of him earlier this year. He received an offer from Notre Dame. Now, he's got offers from everywhere. Name a school, big blood, blue blood, Power 4, whatever. He's got an offer from them. I look forward to watching what he does his senior year with Joe Gillespie and the Panthers next year. And then Kagan Ash, Mount Enterprise. We had him on last week, and I had a lot of people from Mount Enterprise tell me they had never heard him talk so much. And that's a compliment to Kagan because I was able to bring up some things that he feels comfortable talking about. Does his talking on the field. Now, 165 yards and 4 touchdowns. You go, that's great. And for him, man, he's put up 599, remember, in a game this year. He keeps on going. Here is where we are now. The all-time career rushing yards list. Kagan is now number 4. He is number 4. He was number 4 last week. He had 165 yards. But look where he is now. Less than 100 yards away from Traylon Shedd. He's still got a long way to go after that, but they got to keep winning. But he's less than 100 yards away from moving 3rd all-time Texas high school football history. They have Overton next. Overton is when he went just bat crazy. In a game earlier this year. Overton, the Mustangs are 8-4, but they can fill up the scoreboard themselves as well. So there we are with him at 4, remains 4, but closer to passing Traylon Shedd at Cayuga. Then all-time career points scored. This is one that I did not know if he would get to this. We knew he was eventually going to pass the legends of Robert Strait, Jared Martin, Traylon Shedd, Kenneth Hall. He's number 2 all-time. That's where he was at last couple of weeks. He scored 32 points in the win against Chilton. He is 120 points away from the all-time record, tying the great Jonathan Gray from Aledo. But let's just watch how this goes. 1, Mount Enterprise has to keep winning, and they have Overton this week. They'll be favored to do that. And then, of course, you start to get into playing teams from your own district. And, of course, they were a part of a very salty district. So there we are with him when it comes to points scored. Now, single-season rushing yards. There were 4 young men in Texas this year who were making their mark and moving up the charts for most rushing yards in a single season. The all-time record, he still holds this record, Kenneth Hall from Sugar Land back in the 1950s. In 12 games, had 4,045 yards. Ernie Powers' season ended for El Paso Franklin. He is right now 5th all-time at 3,742 yards. Right behind him, Christian Villarreal from Ozona, who got knocked out in the bye district by Anson. He's at 3,667. John Hebert from Strake Jesuit in Houston, they're still playing, is at 3,541. And then Kagan Ash at 3,373. Those are the 2 who are active trying to climb up the charts for most rushing yards in a single season. Kagan Ash has Mount Enterprise. They play Overton, and then Strake Jesuit playing unbeaten Dickinson in a Region 4 game in Class 6A. Now, Terry Garrick, head coach at Conley High School, the Cadets, is like a 5, 6, 8-minute drive from our studio here in Waco, just off of MLK. He has moved into the AD job only at Conley. That football head coaching job is open. I've had a lot of people reach out to me about that job. They were more interested if it would have been in the combo job of AD football coach. But Terry Garrick, one of the nicest people you'll meet. They didn't have a very good year, but they beat Gatesville to end the season. He's going to move into administration, AD, and good luck to him. He has been a class act to deal with at Conley High School. And then this is not football, but I want to bring it up. High school basketball. Gordon, remember we featured Garrett, their football team. Garrett Ross, by the way, is always producing the weekly podcast we do for high school football. But this is a basketball note. Gordon High School, remember their 6 men in football. They played an 11-man team earlier this year and won. Enrollment of 75. Plano West, of course, Plano's got a huge school district just north of Dallas and just south of Allen, which is 7,000 enrollment. Plano West has an enrollment of nearly 5,000 students. And Gordon won that game in overtime, 49-42. What an unbelievable win. That goes to show you in a lot of ways, enrollment does make a difference. But in basketball, there was a team probably before your time, and I think they've won somewhat recently, but it's been a while. Snook.
Oh, yeah.
Snook. Not Smoak, but Snook. Down in the Bryan College Station in that area. They were a tiny school, still are, but they would win and beat people at the time, probably more. I think the largest classification was 4A and 5A. Now it's 6A. I just moved up numbers. But they could beat anybody, and they did, and they won. I want to think at one time it seemed like 8 to 10 consecutive state championships at the smallest classification.
They have a ton. Nazareth is very similar.
Nazareth, yeah, absolutely. Nazareth also among some other schools in the West Texas area. So there we are with that. When we come back, DeSoto football coach Claude Mathis, he's a personality. He's a character. He's also one hell of a football coach. And they just beat Longview 60-28 last week. We'll feature him, Claude Mathis, his program, the Eagles, and more. And then the Elite Games coming up in week number 14. We'll have that too on the Texas High School Football Podcast, 365 Sports.
My go-to guy. Can you fix my smartphone?
Yes.
You have car batteries?
Yeah.
What about golf cart batteries?
Of course.
Battery from a T-fob?
Absolutely.
My boat?
Huge variety.
Toy boat?
Sure.
Motorcycles?
You bet.
My apartment building?
Whole building.
Do you have batteries for my party lights?
Yeah.
Batteries Plus, the experts in charge.
Whatever it is you wrangle, whatever seeds you sow, no matter what you nurture, or what you choose to grow. At Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, we're proud to protect all Texans.
Peters Ram in Longview is gearing up for this football season during the Make This the Summer event going on now. Make all the right moves by getting 25% off MSRP on new select Ram 1500 Lone Star Crew Cabs. The season is looking good with the largest selection of new Ram trucks at Peters Ram during the Make This the Summer event. Online at peterscars.com.
At Sturdy Steel, we build more than grandstands and press boxes. We build the spaces where communities come together. Based in Texas and serving communities nationwide, we're proud of our reputation for dependable, high-quality work and strong client relationships that stand the test of time. From concept to installation, our team of skilled drafters, welders, and installers takes pride in delivering seating solutions designed to last. With a focus on dependability, transparency, and service, we are here to make the unique needs of architects, contractors, schools, and venues across the country. We ensure every project is seamless, sturdy, and ready for generations of fans to enjoy. That's Sturdy Steel. This is David Smoak's Statewide Texas High School Football Podcast on 365 Sports and powered by Smoaky.com and sponsored by Peter Chevrolet in Longview, an innovative third-generation family dealership dedicated to ethics, integrity, and the community, while creating friendly, intelligent, and transparent environment to assist with any automotive need, large or small.
McNair in the gun with under 2 minutes left, down 44-0, trying to get a score. English right side, and he will score. Touchdown, the senior, Raul English from 2 yards out.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. We are an insurance provider built by Texans for Texans. We've been protecting families in our great state since 1952. Sturdy Steel. We build more than grandstands and press boxes. We build the spaces where communities come together. Based in Texas and serving communities nationwide. Batteries Plus. We have the person who can fix what you need with expert knowledge on batteries and have you on your way and good to go in no time. Batteries Plus, the experts in charge. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, with locations throughout the Southwest, serving up tasty food since 1989, including off I-35 in Waco. Next in line, Marco's Pizza, the fastest growing pizza brand in America. Marco's Pizza, Marcos.com. Pizza lovers get it with 5 locations in the Waco area. Bird Culchin Ford on the Loop and Highway 6 in Waco. And Waco's trusted Ford dealer since 1936. And customers know they can expect us to be fair, honest, affordable, and always committed to the tradition of quality service.
I consider him a great friend. A lot of times outside of football, just life, and watching him as he's grown up as a hell of a football coach, award-winning College Football Hall of Fame ballot last year, which was a big deal. DeSoto Eagles football coach Claude Mathis with me, David Smoak, in the High School Football Podcast. I got to tell you something, man. You and I kind of went deep last year a little bit about how you've matured and grown up, which is, I still have to do that at 66 at times. What has changed? You are still fiery. You are still incredibly competitive. You want to win every game, every down. But it seems like that maybe your life or you yourself have found some peace. When did that happen and why?
I think it happened when I went to college and came back and started coaching my sons, because instead of me just being rah, Coach Mathis, and I shouldn't say rah, I should say a coach that is very passionate, I had to enjoy my sons and watch them play and coach them. And I think that settled me down a lot, because it's them. And I couldn't be up in the stands as a dad enjoying them. I had to be a dad on the sideline enjoying them. So I had to take a step back and really understand that I'm still Coach Mathis, but at the same time, I want to be a dad and enjoy my kids' play as well. So that was a big difference maker for me.
Did they notice the difference?
They did. They did. They really did. I mean, I think that 2022 team did, because I changed. That 2022 team changed me. They really did. Great bunch of kids, man. Great players.
That was your first state title.
Yes.
I remember asking, obviously, a competitor of yours, a rival in Duncanville's Reggie Samples. Remember how many times he got close at Lincoln, and then, of course, at Duncanville, the Hail Mary with North Shore. And, you just wonder, do you want something so bad that you want it too bad? And then is that what you went through too?
It did. Yes, I did. I wanted it so bad. I mean, it was something that you would think, would it ever happen to you? Would you ever be in that moment? And if you ever did get in that moment, you have to go make sure that you could secure that moment and make sure it happened. And it was tough, man. It was really hard. And they always say, winning your first one, it takes a lot off of you. It takes a lot off of you if you're able to roll that way. And that's true. It really is. I mean, you win that first one, it gets a lot off of you, and you'll be able to roll a little bit better than what we've been doing in the past. But yes, that was true.
There's some of the greatest college football coaches ever that knocked on the door, had just gut-wrenching endings. Bobby Bowden at Florida State forever. Whether it was they couldn't beat Miami with the field goals wide right, or Tom Osborne at Nebraska, who lost in '83 when you were like a pup, to Miami when they went for 2 to try to win it outright. And then finally, when he won it, he won 3. Bowden eventually won, a couple. And you just get that. I can't imagine the burden. I know there's things I've wanted in life too, but the burden. Sometimes when you win it, then the animal becomes even larger though, right? Because now everyone expects that every year.
It does. It does. The animal becomes a lot larger than what it needs to be. And it doesn't stop. Remember when we had our consecutive win streak going, and we haven't lost a game in 2 years, and we've lost to North Crowley. And some of our fans were in the stands like we had a 10-game, 12-game losing streak. They went ballistic on me because I had lost one freaking game in over 2 years. And that did something to me. That really did something to me. And it did something to our players. And we had to recover from it and move on. But no, it's what you've done for me lately. That's what it is. And, our kids right now have went through a rough moment to spell this year as well. But it's what you've done for me lately. That's what it is. That's what it was.
Do you feel like DeSoto and Duncanville, that in Carter had that team in '88, of course, that had the great run. But do you feel like DeSoto and Duncanville have opened up the door for North Crowley and others to kind of like, hey, we can do this in this area?
I do. I really do believe that. Yes, I think so. I mean, I know that North Crowley has done a hell of a job over there, man. He's took the blueprints as a lot of programs go do, and we go to look. We try to find a way to how to win a state championship and try to win. Period. And he's done a great job over there. But yes, I think it has opened the doors for a lot of other teams in our area, especially up here, and that they can go and win one. And hopefully we can continue to do that as well.
You have College Park coming up. We'll get to them in a minute. They're 12-0. That's your next game. John King, head coach at Longview. They got you pretty good last year. I was at the game this past weekend at Waco, and you beat them up 60-28. I even called you over the weekend and told you how impressed I was. Seeing him, though, knowing what he's been through with the cancer and him he had to be in the press box and still does. I love that man. I love Claude Mathis too. But does that kind of put things back in perspective when you see, and he had the knock on the door before they finally got it at Longview, and they had been through a drought of like 80-something years. Does seeing that bring things back into to focus too?
It does. It does. And so I was so gracious to see him after the game and for him to come find me. And I was looking for him and I couldn't find him, but God made a way for him to come find me. And I was so happy to visit with Coach King. We had a nice talk after the game. It was a talk that I'll never forget. Even took a picture with him after the game, man, because I'm going to always be a big fan of Coach King. But he's going through something. He's going through something that nobody wants to ever go through. He was trying to win a football game and then fight his own battle, and that's tough. And then going and watch your son play. I can only imagine what he's going through. And for him to be going through all this right now, man, kudos to him. He's in my prayers as always, but I respect that man so much right there. And he means something to me. He really does. And kudos goes out to him. I mean, that's a man that I will always respect in high school football. And trust me, when I went to Marshall, I was talking to him before I went to Marshall, and I learned a lot from Coach King. I did. And it's just one of the many things and many great people that you'll know in this world, but he's a great man. I really know. I wish a lot of people could understand and know Coach King.
God, he's unbelievable. And yeah, to juggle football, saving your life and going through what he went through, the treatment, the surgery, the treatments afterwards, and then go on, get in a car, driving to Shreveport or wherever to get in a plane to go find wherever Haynes is playing, who Haynes plays like his dad coaches. He's tough as hell. Tough loss. They got
Trust
Georgia.
I played against him. Well, I coached against him. Trust me. I know about Haynes King. Trust me, I do.
So I asked John King earlier today, I said, describe Claude Mathis to me. He said he's a very likable guy, and a lot of times people don't quite understand that because they see the personality. He's always been easy to deal with, handles pressure of being at DeSoto, which is not an easy job.
Wow. He summed it up. It's a job that can really, really get you if you don't get the support that you need. It's a job that has really affected me this year. It has. It's been a tough year. It really has. And I can't thank my coaches and my players enough because they have been my safe haven. They really have. And it's different. It's really different. We've had a lot of turnover this year, and a lot of things have happened this year when it comes to the administration part with me. And you have people that you think are supposed to support you, but they don't want you to succeed. They don't want you to succeed. And that's hurtful. It's very hurtful because we're supposed to be here for kids. And it's a tough situation. But we also have some great people here and also some other great administrators on this campus that are awesome and some great teachers. And it's just part of the territory. It is. And I've helped build it. And, it's part of it. And we take it and we roll with it. But as long as we keep our kids focused and our coaches focused, we're going to be just fine. And I'm very passionate. And Coach King knows I'm a very passionate guy. People don't understand that. It's not like I'm a cocky, arrogant guy. No, I love this game. I love this game they call football, and I want our kids to be successful so much that I'm so passionate about it, and I don't want them to fail in life. So, yeah, I am that way. I'm very passionate, and I'm not going to stop for anybody.
I first of all, thank you for your raw emotions. I didn't know exactly where you were going to go with that. I, as a guy who's a broadcaster, opinionated, I used to do a segment when I was in the East Texas market. It's like, that's my opinion. I'm David Smoak, and that's my opinion because that's what they wanted me to do. And a lot of people took that as like arrogance, cockiness. No, I love my job. I still have always loved my job in broadcasting. And so I appreciate where you're coming from. Does this have anything to do with the fact you're just nothing wrong with it, that you're no longer AD and football coach?
You know what? I love being AD. I do. I know that we did a great job. Didn't have the help that I needed to be the full-time AD like I wanted to, but I still got the job done. I have my assistant, Marcy. She's awesome. She's done an excellent job with me. She was so administrative assistant. She's awesome, man. And I had my coaches that stepped up to the plate and really helped me out with some other areas. But, no, it's not so much to do with that. It's just you want support and you need support. And sometimes you don't get it in areas that you need it in. Our superintendent, I think, does a great job. She's awesome. I think she does a heck of a job. And my principal is off the chain, man. That Mr. Darden, man, that's the dude right there. But you got other things. You got other people that don't want you to be successful, and that's not cool. And I know who they are.
Why?
It's one of those things where. Hold on one second.
That's okay. It's like I think one of those people they turn your light off, so they
don't like me. They don't like me. They don't like me. They don't like me, and for every other reason, it's okay. They don't. Just keep it about me and not our kids, and that's what upsets me. It really does, and I don't agree with that. I really don't, because I know that DeSoto is a great community. DeSoto is a great school. We have great fans. We have great kids. And it should always be about our kids being successful. That's what it should always be about.
I got to ask you this only because I'm not, this is about you, but do you have some that that they don't like you and they're trying to undermine you, and yet they try to talk to you as if you're their friend?
Yes.
That pisses me. Excuse me. That right there makes me more angry than whatever they might be saying about me, right? Yeah. You mentioned to me when I was on the phone with you, and it was a great talk. I was on my way to go see my daughter and my son-in-law and a granddaughter in Gracie Lynn up in Richardson, that this team finally understands going all in as your teammate right and left in the locker room or out on the football field. Has it been a struggle to kind of get them to understand that?
Yes. It's a young team, very young team. We had a very young team this year, and we had some guys that really haven't been in that moment and understand how varsity football works. And when you have guys like that, they don't understand each other. They didn't even like each other. They didn't even like each other at first. I'm serious. So as a coach, we had to do some things, some bonding things, but most likely, more so I should say, some more interactive in reaching out to them to understand that this is how this works. This is how our culture works. This is our tradition. This is the foundation that we have laid where our players before you have came in and really laid the foundation for you guys to be where you are right now. And that's what they did not understand. And I let them know this: you don't have to like each other, but respect each other.
Mm-hmm.
Understand, coaches, we're going to be coached. You got to be coachable. We know. Heck, a couple of us on this staff have a couple of state championships, so we know how to win a state championship. You may not believe us, but we know how to win one. And they didn't get all that. And it was a struggle to get there, but that's part of football. That's part of rebuilding. And that's what we have done this year. And like I told them on Friday, they finally became a team. They finally became a team. But we knew if they kept coming together, they kept fighting. Because I can tell you about this team right here. They fight. They fight hard. They fight for each other now. And that's the difference right now. They understand what a teammate is about and what a team is. In order for us to win one, you have to play together, a team to hold each other accountable. And they understand that now.
You can have a team that has an edge, a team that might be really confident in themselves, but it seemed like this team, from what one game, but what I saw was a team that is more worried about doing what they do as a football team, talking, rather than out the noise and like stuff that can, lead to a critical 15-yard penalty or a late hit or something like that.
And those are things that we work on. We work on that. We go over that every single day. We talk about that every single day. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's about this team. And we thrive on that every single day in practice, in the weight room, in meetings, because those penalties hurt us. It puts us in bad situations to not be successful. It puts us behind the chains. And that's why I was so proud of them this last Friday, because it was a team. Now, they're going to get some bonehead penalties. I get that.
Yeah.
I get it. But it's how you get in that penalty and when is the right time to get that penalty, because it's never a right time, but it's to be a crucial moment in the game where you just can't get that penalty. And so that's what we've been working on there. I mean, and I think it's paid off this year, but at the same time, we harp it every single day.
College Park has not really ever been much of a discussion in this part of the time of the playoffs. They've done some things, but they're 12-0. Why are they different, it seemed like, this year?
Well, I think they have some players there that have really come into their own in coach system. It takes a while to build a program. I think this is his his third year in this program. So it takes about 3 to 4 years to get your program where you want to be. And I think that he's established that right there. I think he has a great staff, and he understands how to win. He understands how to build a program, and I'm very proud of him. And I think that's why they've come along. I mean, it's his third or fourth year, like I said before, but he's finally got his program to where it needs to be when it comes to his culture and his foundation and how he wants it. There
are some districts, Claude, and I know you need to get to practice and get ready, continue to work towards the game, but there's districts, and then there's 11-6A. There's Duncanville, Waxahachie with what Coach Tollison's done, beat Reggie earlier this year. And then, there's still names like Cedar Hill, Lancaster, and other teams as well. There's also the district down in the Houston area with Summer Creek and C.E. King and North Shore and at Atascocita. How good can you try to describe the week in and week out battering ram that those districts can be, including the one, of course, you're in?
I think small Division 2, 6A, I think it's the toughest division right now. I really do. I mean, it's a gauntlet. It really is. It's like the SEC, or you can call it the college football playoffs. That's where we're in right now. it's nonstop. It's every single week that you have to be prepared. You got to be able to coach. Hopefully and pray that your kids stay healthy where you don't have the big injury bug that hits you. I mean, it's one of those things right there where it's week in and week out. It's every single week. And those districts are tough. They're tough. We play a hell of a district. I still think we have the toughest district in the state of Texas. But it's nonstop, man. It's tough, man. It really is. And to be this far playing, it says a whole lot about your staff, your team, and you got to have a little bit of luck too as well.
Yeah, and I know that when the Midway moved up in the district COVID year, those 2 years, and they were down a little bit. They had a slight drop in the who they had in some of the underclassmen grades, but they had no chance. And they are really good.
Yeah.
And they're getting better now with Joe Gillespie as the head coach. Okay, last thing for you.
Sure.
You have been, we mentioned this last year, the College Football Hall of Fame ballot. I'm a voter for what you did at Texas State. You recently received the Texas High School Coaches Association Coach of the Year Award. You have been honored with this and that and all these Black Caucus and all the things you've been a part of. Texas State Hall of Fame. What does all that mean to you? You're still pretty young, and you've gotten a lot of those things going on.
Yes, I am. And I'm very blessed. I'm very grateful. It takes a village to raise a child. And I've had a big village around me. I've had a great village around me. And I've been very blessed. So, I look at that and I take and I ask God and I thank God for everything that he's blessed me with. And I understand my family has been one of my biggest supporters, my kids, my boys, man, my son, my oldest son, Champ. We talk every day. And I don't talk to all my boys every day. I try to because they have their own life a little bit. They got their college life, but my oldest one, we talk every day, and they didn't want to say he's just like me. So I hope he'll coach one day. But my kids have really supported me. All 5 of my kids have supported me so much, and I can't thank them enough. I can't. And my mom has been there for me through thick and thin, and my uncles. It's just one thing I've ever had. Very, very, very great. I should say very good support. But it takes a village, man. It does. There's a lot of great people out there like the Cruns, like Coach Gregory, like Coach Chambers, like the Pam DeBoards. It's a lot of great people that I didn't name that supported me through all my life. The ADs at Texas State, my ex-coaches at Texas State, my teammates at Texas State. So I'm in a situation right now, and you have gave me a chance to speak and voice things and say things and have me on your show, and it's been an honor. So it takes a village, and I'm very blessed, very blessed.
Well, you've been very good to me and open to me, and it means a lot that you would open up whenever we're having you on. And good luck against College Park this week, and then all in the future. I saw your team firsthand. Everyone can talk about this guy's going to USC, this guy's going to Tech, whatever. But man, they got to be on the same page, and you got to make sure that they're not playing for themselves. And this day, it's harder than ever with NIL and scholarships. Oh my God, Claude, how do you do it?
One second, Smoke. 1 second. I'm sorry.
Okay, take your time.
That's what, honestly, those Lobos were really good last year. I don't take nothing from those Lobos, but that last year affected us tremendously. The NIL did. It did. I did something that I never do. I had signing day before we played, and I don't ever do that. And I shouldn't have done it. But NIL is affecting a lot of football teams out there, man. And it just got to be cautious of it. It really is. And the good thing about it is I have a little bit more experience now, and I've learned my lesson from that. And I think what we're doing this year is a lot better. But yes, man, the NIL it's out there, man. It can be good and it can be bad. I can tell you that right now.
Like more distractions if it's hard enough for teenagers in this day and age anyway. Hey, man, love you. Claude, thank you so much, buddy. Good luck.
I'm back at you.
Claude Mathis, head coach at DeSoto, with me, David Smoak, on the Statewide High School Football Podcast.
go-to guy. Can you fix my smartphone?
Yes.
You have car batteries?
Yeah.
What about golf cart batteries?
Of course.
Battery from a G-Fob?
Absolutely.
My boat?
Huge variety.
Toy boat?
Sure.
Motorcycles?
You bet.
My apartment building?
Whole building.
Do you have batteries for my party lights?
Yeah.
Batteries Plus, the experts in charge.
Whatever it is you wrangle, whatever seeds you sow, no matter what you nurture or what you choose to grow, at Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, we're proud to protect all Texans.
Peters Ram in Longview is gearing up for this football season during the Make This the Summer event going on now. Make all the right moves by getting 25% off MSRP on new select Ram 1500 Lone Star Crew Cabs. The season is looking good with the largest selection of new Ram trucks at Peters Ram during the Make This the Summer event. Online at peterscars.com.
At Sturdy Steel, we build more than grandstands and press boxes. We build the spaces where communities come together. Based in Texas and serving communities nationwide, we're proud of our reputation for dependable, high-quality work and strong client relationships that stand the test of time. From concept to installation, our team of skilled drafters, welders, and installers takes pride in delivering seating solutions designed to last. With a focus on dependability, transparency, and service, we are here to make the unique needs of architects, contractors, schools, and venues across the country. We ensure every project is seamless, sturdy, and ready for generations of fans to enjoy. That's Sturdy Steel. This is David Smoak's Statewide Texas High School Football Podcast on 365 Sports and powered by Smoaky.com and sponsored by Peters Chevrolet in Longview, an innovative third-generation family dealership dedicated to ethics, integrity, and the community, while creating friendly, intelligent, and transparent environment to assist with any automotive need, large or small.
McNair in the gun with under 2 minutes left, down 44-0, trying to get a score. English right side, and he will score. Touchdown, the senior, Raul English from 2 yards out.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. We are an insurance provider built by Texans for Texans. We've been protecting families in our great state since 1952. Sturdy Steel. We build more than grandstands and press boxes. We build the spaces where communities come together. Based in Texas and serving communities nationwide. Batteries Plus. We have the person who can fix what you need with expert knowledge on batteries and have you on your way and good to go in no time. Batteries Plus, the experts in charge. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, with locations throughout the Southwest, serving up tasty food since 1989, including off I-35 in Waco. Next in line, Marco's Pizza, the fastest growing pizza brand in America. Marco's Pizza, Marcos.com. Pizza lovers get it with 5 locations in the Waco area. Bird Culchin Ford on the Loop and Highway 6 in Waco. And Waco's trusted Ford dealer since 1936. And customers know they can expect us to be fair, honest, affordable, and always committed to the tradition of quality service.
We always wrap up every single week. First of all, thanks again to our great sponsors, Peters Chevrolet and Randy Peters in Longview. Also, Batteries Plus, thanks to the Cobblestone Group, Danny Moose, and Jennifer Smoak, by the way. Jennifer Smoak Golden, by the way, who works with that Cobblestone Group and the Batteries Plus sponsorship. We always close it out with the best games coming up. But before we do, and this is going to be one of them, no question, Carthage and Pleasant Grove, Class 4A, Division II. Carthage has never lost to Pleasant Grove. Now, Pleasant Grove's in Texarkana. Carthage, of course, you know where that is. That's south of I-20, in there, Henderson, Tatum, and in that area, south of Longview, too. But since Scott Surratt's been there, we know about the 10 state championships. Here is how many times they've played Pleasant Grove. 8. Carthage has won every time. There have been close ones like 2023, 34-31. There was the, 28-21 in 2018. Pleasant Grove really has, Ken Davis was the coach in 2010, and then Josh Gibson, has come in a hell of a job. Won a state championship there at Pleasant Grove. It's that area in 4A. Pleasant Grove this year won the district that included Gilmer and others, but they've played 8 times. Pleasant Grove has knocked on the door a few times. They themselves have won a state championship, but we know the dominance of Carthage. I did not know the series. I reached out to Jerry Forrest and also Jack Stallard, who works at the Longview News-Journal. I said, hey, can you send me the all-time record between these two? What's interesting is they'd never played before 2010. Pleasant Grove has always been pretty much a 4A school, as has Carthage. Carthage at one point was actually a while back was in the 5A mode, but they have been 4A Division I, now Division II. The stars, the asterisks to the left of any of the years, that's the year that Carthage won a state championship. They will meet this week, and this should be an unbelievable game again. Now, Carthage's defense has been susceptible this year. They've given up some points, which is interesting because remember, Athens scored 50-plus against them, but lost because Carthage's offense puts up huge points too. But I wanted to feature that game, which is one of the elite games coming up. And now here are the other ones that we highlight. In 3A, Franklin had to score, 52 or so, whatever it was, 56 against Orangefield to move into this round. Defending champion Columbus, we know what Mark Fannin and Franklin have done. This ought to be this is a banger. We can look at the rank totals. Number 1, Franklin. Number 2, Columbus. A lot of those who are picking games, when I kind of watched that, have Columbus, Franklin with that incredible running game, and Schobel with what he's done winning it last year at Columbus. And then in 2A, Refugio, unbeaten against Ganado. Ganado won this game a year ago, 14-6. Carthage and Pleasant Grove, it's a pick'em game. 28-7 last year, Carthage winning. Newton and Troop. Troop is very powerful. 12-0 this year. They have put up a ton of points. They can throw it. They can run it. The defense, they got a lot of youth on this team too. But this Newton usually is just too much firepower. And Drew Johnson, the head coach, replacing his father, WT. But this ought to be fun. But Newton's a 12-point pick in that one. Port Arthur Memorial and College Station, don't look at those records, but Memorial's very good, and they're a 6-point pick. De Leon, huge numbers last week. And Axtell, that's with Craig Horn, the head coach. What 1-point game there. Paradise and Jim Ned. You have Alvarado unbeaten against Springtown, 11-0 and 12-0. An 8-point pick for Alvarado. South Lake Carroll, Riley Dodge knocking on that door again, and Prosper in a 3rd-round game. Sealy, I always think about Sealy, 2 things. I think about Eric Dickerson and the team they had in the late 70s. And, of course, then they had that 4-peat when they won 4 consecutive. What was it? Fred Smith, I think, was the running back that put up monstrous numbers for Sealy. Argyle and Walnut Grove. Wow, Argyle winning that game by 17 last year, 52-35. They're a 9-point pick against Tommy Allison and Walnut Grove. Idalou, Canadian won by 6 a year ago. Idalou's a team that I've seen one time personally, up front, up close and personal. I was doing Crawford games one year in the playoffs. Idalou beat them up. It was like a blowout, but they were so much better on defense. Crawford could barely get back to the line of scrimmage. They're a 3-point pick despite being 9-3. Remember, a lot of times non-district records are the schedules you play. South Oak, Cliff, and Terrell. Coach Dodd, tale of coach with Marvin Sedberry Jr., 12-0 and 11-1. Wish I could be at that game. Melissa and Anna both in the same district as Walnut Grove. They'll both play each other. Somebody there will advance. Summer Creek continues to hammer people. 13-point pick against Katy. Then you have Lexington with quarterback Case Evans against East Bernard. And then Aquila in a great six-man game, Class 1A six-man game, 12-0 against Union Hill. And then Richland Springs and Oglesby. Jeb Dixon, the head coach at Oglesby. That's Garrett's hometown. Isn't that your hometown?
Yep, that's where I'm from.
And, of course, they have rattlesnakes. But they also have one hell of a football team, and they have been really good since Jeb arrived on the scene there. One note about the Katy game against Summer Creek. Last year, Katy was beaten in this round by North Shore, and they're still really good. But Summer Creek, of course, has just been bulldozing so many people. We appreciate our sponsors, Peter Chevrolet, also Batteries Plus, and so many more, Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, Barefoot Athletics with Matt Copeland, Genco Federal Credit Union, Sturdy Steel with, of course, my good friend Ronnie Glazeman and Taylor Bledsoe, also Bubba's 33 with Rita Wells, and then Baylor Scott & White Southwest Sports Medicine with Matt Rohr and the great group of doctors. For Garrett Ross, I'm David Smoak. Enjoy your holiday week. Enjoy the third week of the playoffs and quarterfinals next week throughout the state. And then, of course, in six-man, the semifinal games too. This is the Statewide High School Football Podcast. I'm David Smoak, and this is 365 Sports.